Hi guys, so I just want to do a video real quick showing my canned meatloaf. I see a lot of people doing videos in regards to, food prices are going up big time. I have two sons at home. I've got three grandkids. I've got my husband. He's a meat and potatoes guy. They're all concrete workers, so they eat a lot of carbs because they work, in crappy weather when it's 10 degrees out, snowing, or even, in the hottest weather. They need a lot of carbs to keep their bodies going. Might not always be healthy carbs, but they need carbs. And with meat prices going up so much, I found this really great recipe where I did hamburger. Okay, hamburger is, beef is higher price right now. But I took the same amount of hamburger, the same amount of Italian sausage, and the same amount of ground turkey. I mixed it all together. That's what's right here. A lot of this grease is actually from the hamburger and the Italian sausage itself, not so much the turkey. The turkey kind of balances everything out. Then I put as fillers for it, thinking, health-wise, I did shredded cabbage, celery, onion, and seasonings. And mixed it all raw, did everything raw, packed up my jar, and then I threw it in my trusty All-American handy American canner, All-American pressure canner. This right here will be good for like at least bare minimum 5 years, but likely 10 plus. We tried some, and it's good. It's probably the best meatloaf I ever had. Now if you want to add ketchup to it in the mix with the raw, you can do that as well. But yeah, it's really good. And even if you can't get it out, like let's say if you don't have wide mouth jars right now, because a lot of people are running into that issue right now, I am one of them. You can do small mouth quart jars, no problem. You just make it like all chunked up and get it out of there and put it over mashed potatoes or rice with a little bit of gravy, and you've got a great meal. Add some peas to it if you want, or carrots. But this is a good, cheap, healthy meal that is also a filler in times where everything is going up in price. I'm a pressure canner, like I've said in my other videos, when I see sales at the store, I stock up. When turkey's on sale, I'll walk out of that checkout aisle with 6 turkeys, come home, and cook them all within that week, throw them in a can and pressure can them, and put them on a shelf. Same thing with ham, anything else. And yeah, the house gets hot, you get tired, and then you're picking all the meat off the bones and doing all this. It's a lot of work. But you know what? It's good for how many years for your family? You cannot rely on government when crap hits the fan. They're not going to be there for you. And I always go back to the old story, again, bring a little bit of scripture into it. When everything was going crazy on earth, back in Noah's time, God came to Noah and said, you know what, Noah? I'm going to do this flood. I'm telling you right now, I'm warning you, because I want you not to drown, so build this ark. I'm going to send these animals to you. Noah had to get the food for him and his family and those animals himself. God didn't do it for him. And if Noah didn't build that ark and listened to that warning, he would have drowned like the rest of them. Just like God's word. He warns us in the book of Revelation, what we're coming to and what's going to happen. He's warning us, just like he did Noah. Hey, guys, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a day you can't buy or sell. There's going to be all these wars, all this stuff going on. Just be prepared. The story, 7 years plenty, 7 years none. I mean, God never leaves us in the dark, guys, but there are those that are in the dark that are not preparing, And they may find themselves in hardships because they didn't listen to the warnings that God gave. But I also believe, that God does provide for us. But, then we can go back to the ant worker story. God tells us if you're able to, you better provide for yourself and get going and working on this stuff. But yeah, this is a very cheap way to do things right now. And I had 20 pounds of each meat and did quite a bit. And it's very good. It's, in all honesty, it's probably the best meatloaf I think I ever made in my life. And if you really want to get creative, you can add some honey to it. Raw honey. Don't be grabbing that honey at them stores. That's not raw honey. That's got a bunch of icky stuff in it. Find a local person that sells it that has beehives. Get these here. They're great. You can put it in coffee, put it with waffles, put it with anything and everything, and it's really good, really, really good as a rub on meat, especially ribs or even steak on the grill or over a fire. But so I know that a lot of people are stressing out right now because everything in price is going up. People are stressed out of what's going on. Just remember that God warned us of all this stuff happening. We're not to fear it. We're not to be stressed. Look at the Lord. Go to the Lord for it. Pray to the Lord for it. And just prepare for your family. Like my grandparents, they lived through the Great Depression. If there's one thing I learned from them, you get prepared before that Great Depression hits. You don't try to do it during it because you can't. You can't. So, for anybody watching this video, I ask you please, if you have any questions on how to save money on food. Spam is really great too. There's YouTube videos of Great Depression recipes, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm not a real big Spam lover. My husband likes Spam. My kids like Spam. I found this Spam recipe with pork and beans and a little bit of bacon pieces, and you fry the Spam, cut up in slices, and then you put it in a pot and put it in the oven, and you bake it 350 degrees for 20 minutes, and I gotta admit, it turned out really good. It was not bad. It was a low sodium though, one. But yeah, it wasn't bad, guys. It was good. There's a lot of recipes out there that are very cheap that you can do. Meatloaf, Spam, beans, tortillas, coming from, a Mexican side of cooking, tortillas, chorizo, and eggs. That's like an everyday thing you can eat. Add a little cilantro to it from your garden, and you a little lime. You got it. Yummy. Have a tortilla presser. Learn how to make tortillas your own. You could be getting that. You can't just get regular flour for tortillas. You gotta get masa for them because it's a different consistency of flour. But if you store that the right way in 5-gallon Mylar bags and put it in a 5-gallon bucket with O2 absorber and throw a top on it, or do individual bags, which would probably make more sense if you have a smaller family and you don't plan on having a whole bunch of people at your house when crap hits the fan, I would do it that way so that you have smaller portions that you can take out as needed. But yeah, making homemade tortillas is amazing. And then you can even put them in the presser, and I'll show you what the presser looks like. You can put them in the presser, and it's right there. So you can put them in the presser, and you put like you can do this paper, you can do cooking sheet paper, and put it on here, and then you roll it up in a bowl, you put it on there, you press it down real good, and then you throw it on a pan with a little bit of olive oil, and then you just basically let it sit, cover it, or whatever. Or what you can do is, if you want to make a treat out of it, you can mix cinnamon and sugar with it and just kind of put it on top of it, and it makes for a great dessert. I'm telling you, it's yummy. I don't know if you guys have ever like went in Taco Bell and got those Mexican twist things or whatever. Taco Bell is totally not Mexican, by the way. That's like, I wouldn't even compare it to Mexican food. But it's way better. Way, way, way better. But yeah, so this is just something, throw out there for you guys. It's important to be self-efficient, not to rely on Walmart, not to rely on your Walgreens for your prescriptions. Learn what plants you can do for diabetes, learn what plants you can do for high cholesterol, for other health issues like asthma that I have, allergies that grow naturally. God, like, really provided pretty much everything we need through his own creation. We just need to learn how to use it. Just give an example. The inner bark of a pine tree, not the brown, the white inner bark. You can cut off a sliver of that. That's about 3 inches long by 2 inches wide. Chew on that for 7 days. Without any food or any water, and your body will survive. God's creation is very amazing, and so many people don't realize just how amazing it is, and how people survived before we had Walmarts and grocery stores and pharmacists and doctors and everything else. People have just gotten too used to relying on other people and not relying on God's creation. So that's my 2 cents, guys. If you guys have any questions about canning, please let me know. There is safety precautions to take in canning that you must take that I have spoken about in other canning videos. Please be advised to them. Learn how to can the right way before you do it, because if you do it the wrong way and then take that food off the shelf, you can get your family very sick and may even, they could die. It's very important you do it in the right manner. I love you all. Have a great night.